It's the Dance Fusion Show on the Culture Channel, only on TVU with your host, Mary Anne Kuebler. And this week, Erin Head, Buti Yoga instructor. How you guys doing?
We're great. Thank you.
Thank you.
It is so good to see you. And you're all dressed up. We're in the fall festival dress up and get candy season. So here you are. You're all dressed up.
We're having a flamingo party today. There you go.
Flamingo party. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. So, Mary Anne, what's news?
Well, as everyone else, we're still coping with COVID. I must say, I think we've had lots of peaks and valleys, but I will say we've finished or almost finished our second month of regular fall classes, right? We've done some changes at the studio for I don't know it's probably the 10th time. So we have iPads available for each one of our studios. We have 5 studios. So we have an iPad for each one of the studios. It's programmed for all the classes that run in that particular studio for that day. So if for whatever reason, because a kid has sniffles or whatever and thinks they should stay away, or because something has happened and they've been exposed either at school or in the public, they can't come home or can't come to the studio, they're quarantined, we can broadcast the classes to them through Zoom so they can keep their training up while they have to stay away. So that's new. Nice. We did Zoom classes before, but not like this, like every single class can be broadcast. So that's new. We're well into, I think, halfway through our sessional classes for our preschoolers. Yeah. And we'll be starting a new session of preschool in January. These classes go till the end of November. And our enrollment is down a bit, but I think that's expected with people not being sure whether they want to venture outside of their homes. And we're trying to do new things like the Buti classes, which you're going to discuss and talk about with Erin in a while. Something new, things that people might be willing to commit to, say, for 4 weeks or 6 weeks, but not for a full year, right? So we're trying to do that kind of stuff. We're getting through it slowly but surely. Some of the government grants we're able to take advantage of, but right now everything is sort of on a plateau. So a lot of those grants are not available right now. There's too much stuff going on in Parliament, right? So we're just kind of riding it out.
Well, that's very exciting. You know, we received a couple videos again from Peyton to keep us going with the show, and now you have got iPads in each studio, and you have them on tripods. Is that what you're doing?
No, we have them on wall mounts. So they're at the back of the room. Yeah. So it's as if the student is actually in the class. So what they're seeing is a reflection from the mirror, right? So it's like they're in the class watching the teacher from the back, which makes way more sense than how we were doing it, because the teacher's doing it one way facing them, and so everybody was backwards. This way they're doing exactly the same thing as the kids in the class or the adults in the class, if the case may be. So I think it's a better way of doing it.
Yeah, it's very insightful, and it's neat. It's been very impressive to see how you've grown your media culture. It's so cool that you've brought it in. Now, Erin, Buti Yoga, Buti. Buti, Buti Yoga.
That's my bad. I think I'm the one that put the H in there.
Well, it seemed reasonable, right?
That kind of opens up a whole new thing.
But people think of different ways of saying it. So,
what is it?
All right. So, Buti Yoga is a intense workout if you make it that way. People think of yoga as slow and sometimes boring. I shouldn't say that as a yoga teacher, but it turns them away. But Buti Yoga is loud music is pumping. We're doing plyometrics in some classes, along with all of our stretching and strength building and things like that. It's more like a HIIT style workout. which is your high intensity interval training.
So there's many kinds of yoga. So there's Ashtanga, Yoga Nidra. There's these hot yoga things.
Yeah.
Where does this fit? Because people that are watching this, they may already have a yoga practice that they participate in. So how can you blend in?
So this yoga is similar to a vinyasa type yoga where it flows the whole time. We're not holding any posture for any amount of time. It kind of works through them. So their motto is Vinyasa Remixed.
Interesting. Now, what's the history of it?
All right. So it was founded in 2012 by a celebrity trainer. Her name was Busy Gold. And that was down in Scottsdale in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, it's kind of exploded. It's the biggest in the States, but it reaches all over the world. We have over 6,000 instructors all over. So,
and what was your training process?
So personally, I started taking classes in 2017, and it will be 2 years this January that I've been certified. I have a big dance background. I started dancing when I was 3 and until I was 17, 18. And then when I was in my 20s, I have a diploma in personal training. So this kind of fit right into what I do because I get to do dance moves with music and make it my own. So.
Now, it's interesting. In our pre-show conversation, we talked about Shay Kuebler, that you've worked and danced with.
I used to dance with him when we were teenagers, yes.
Yeah, and he has blended martial arts, very advanced martial arts into his dance expression. So it's very interesting to see now yoga being blended in with with dance. It's very fascinating. It's very fascinating, and the video that we'll play is very fun. There's lots of fun to it. But what I wanted to know was because you've got extensive dance training and teaching experience. You're just talk a little bit about your actual dance that you've been trained in that you do teach.
So I've been teaching here at Dance Fusion for 5 years now. I teach mostly the preschoolers, but I'm teaching I've taught aerial, I've taught acro here. I teach some of the seniors, some conditioning type classes. Before that, I've taught at a bunch of different studios, different dance studios. I've taught pole dancing. I used to dance for the Edmonton Rush for a few years when they first started. So
awesome. So then with that, very interesting. We could probably have a whole show just talking about your dance. But honestly, so especially the dance where you're changing your orientation. You're going upside down, and you're turning around. Acro and aerial. We've done a show on it. It's very, very fascinating. It was interesting to see that Cirque du Soleil kind of performing is being done right here in Sherwood Park. So with that, and now with yoga, like my experience with yoga is it's at least a very metaphysical practice. For some it's spiritual, but at least metaphysical. So you're going through different states of consciousness. There's different levels as your body powers up, right? And you're energized, which is exactly what dance does. And especially the trained and choreography version of dance, there's even that much more of a discipline. Where do you find the crossover? Obviously it's there because it's happening. You said it's one of the fastest growing kinds of yoga on the planet. So where did you find the connection between yoga, Buti Yoga, and your dance?
the music, it's very
your practice. Yeah, I guess the music. Okay.
Yeah. That's what got it for me. I've done yoga for many, many years. But this one I stuck with, and it's a workout that I enjoy to do. I call it a workout. I also teach it. But I absolutely love it. And most people who come to try it like it as well. And it's really for any level.
I was going to say that I haven't done a class with her yet, but I've been watching who's been attending. And so you get people that probably have been sedentary for years, and they come, they decide, oh, okay, I can be brave and I'll come and try a class. And they maybe can't do the lotus position, which is, you know, where you cross your legs. They can't do a lot of that stuff, but they're getting a lot out of the class. And after the first class, they're comfortable and they're committed. I think she could probably run classes here on a regular basis if she wanted to. She also wants to keep her own like satellite business going, because obviously she makes more money that way, and I understand that. But I'd like to incorporate more yoga in here. It's like cross training that benefits the dancers and the non-dancers, as well as kids and stuff. I think we could make it a big part of the studio. So something else to look at. But I thought it was interesting. We have people that haven't been able to touch their toes probably in years taking her class. And I think they've become more limber as they've been coming.
Mm-hmm. Some of the people's comments, some of their ailments have gone away completely. But it's very welcoming. Some yoga find is a little hotty-toddy, I guess, right? And it's not that at all. Mm-hmm. You might Google Buti Yoga and you see a bunch of women in their, you know, tiny little clothes, but it's an empowering workout. And it doesn't matter your size, your shape. I have regular men coming to my class now, more than one. I have 3 that regularly come. And when you're done class, we have this thing called Buti Bliss, where you're kind of on a high. Mm-hmm. And you just feel great about yourself. And yeah.
Let's try to watch the video. We'll play it, and it's very fun. It's very interesting. Yeah, it's just taking too long I was kind of hoping that my computer would.
Buti is a movement methodology that incorporates dynamic yoga asana with primal movement, cardio dance bursts, and deep core conditioning.
Welcome Terry and welcome Madison.
Hey.
All right, couple questions for you guys. Did you enjoy class today?
Yes.
Yes,
it was a hard one.
You did fantastic. All right, what intrigued you to actually come and try a class?
For me, seeing some of the pictures that you had, posts and that, and looking for challenge, looking for something to be more active and get my butt moving more.
And that you have. Yeah. What about you?
He actually got me into it because Dad's been going, I think he'd been going for about 6 months when I first tried. I've been living in Vancouver at the time that I tried, so I did Zoom classes. Until this past month, I've been in the studio and outdoor when it was warmer. And yeah, it's been great to see my dad stick with something for longer than a couple of weeks, and he really, like, you noticed a difference in his, I guess, energy levels of just strength training, so that really intrigued me.
All right, so you kind of answered how long you've been doing Buti, but how long have you, Terry, now been doing Buti with me?
It'll be a year in December, so 10 months now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what benefits have you noticed?
Well, I mean, flexibility without saying, I mean, absolutely. And it's an amazing workout. So, like, overall conditioning, shoulders, arms, core, like, it's all around just great, feel better.
For me, it's been, good cross training for other sports, so cycling and endurance sports. This has been really great for me to slow down and work on strength training so I avoid injuries. And I've noticed that I've had a lot more strength in my arms, like things like chaturangas have been where I noticed like my difference every week, and it's been great.
All right, last question. What would you want to tell others to try Buti, and should they try it, and why? Spread the word.
All right, well, for me, like, you try it, and I got pretty hooked on it just because of the workout and the fun, and you feel so much better.
I would say try it because it's different than any other yoga workout I've done, which I really like. The energy levels are up, always changing, new moves, different flows. Also, it's a really non-judgmental, super welcoming environment, so I really like that about this studio and this community that we have in Buti for sure.
DANCEFUSION all around for that.
Yeah, it's been really nice to see all different levels, and it's been great.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Great class today.
Thanks for class.
Hi, Kelly.
Hey.
All right. What intrigued you to actually come try a class?
Well, I've been coming to Dance Fusion for maybe about a year or so, and I just always heard about your classes and heard how much energy there was and how upbeat it was, and thought, I love yoga. I've been doing it consistently for about 10 years. I gotta try a new style, and I've loved it ever since.
Awesome. What benefits have you noticed?
I've noticed that I have better stamina, that I have a deeper flexibility. My agility seems like it's much stronger since I've started doing Buti.
And last, what would you want to tell people to bring them to Buti? Why should they try it?
Because it's awesome. It's so much fun. Erin is a great teacher. It's high energy. And then there's also moments where you can slow down and really go into a stretch. It's a bit of something for everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, here come the trouble.
That's very interesting. What's with the glowing makeup? What's going on there?
Oh, very exciting. So I'm trying to run quarterly. That's my goal. But it brings me back to when I was a teenager and going out to parties. So I run a thing, and other Buti teachers do too, called Buti Glow or Blacklight Buti. So it's kind of an event. It's outside of class. It has to be dark outside. I set up a bunch of black lights. People come early and I supply each on their individual plate black light paint. And we paint our bodies up. And then we just have a class in the dark with flashing lights. And there's lots of hooting and hollering in Buti. Like, we get loud and it's fun. So that is coming up. Next one, December the 5th. It's a Saturday.
December 5th, Saturday, December 5th. So you're talking like 7 o'clock at night sort of thing, or what?
Yeah. It'll probably be a 75-minute class, but come a little early to paint up.
The environment seems very interesting too. It seems like you put a lot of prep into the studio before people are coming in to do yoga. It seems like lots of lights.
I like to have some mood-setting lights at the front, and the lights off. My participants seem to like the lights off, so we just have a little bit of light in the front. Mm-hmm.
And then the music that we're hearing, that's the music that's playing. Pretty much that kind of energy that was on the video.
Energy. Yes, high energy. I make my own playlist for every class.
Nice.
So you'll get my playlists have a little bit of personal music that I love. Mm-hmm. Every Buti teacher will have something a little different, but we do have guidelines that we're not supposed to play pop type party music and country. So
I understand because the lyrics and stuff will distract people from the practice. But what was very interesting was the daughter-dad little feature you had there. Mm-hmm. There's some neat growth there, individually, but it seems like their bonding between dad and daughter was very powerful.
Yeah, well, most definitely. Madison had been living in Vancouver for a while, and she married while she was in Vancouver. And her and her husband have relocated back to Alberta. So they're living, her and her husband are living with Terry and his wife, Shannon, at the moment. And they are planning on eventually moving on. But right now it's kind of like, when the little birds leave the nest and then they come home for a while, and it's like they've become reacquainted and it's kind of fun. It's like we're almost on the same playing field. We're still father-daughter, but more even, if you know what I mean, right? So they found that neat.
And they took my Zoom classes together when he was here and she was in Vancouver. I did about 3 Zoom classes a week. So I had people actually from all over the States coming to join me. I had a person from Saudi Arabia come log on one time when I was during the shutdown. So very neat.
So how do people connect with you, and how do they get involved?
Give them your own.
I do all of my advertising on social media. Mm-hmm. So I have a business Facebook page, which is just A Head's Life, and A Head Fitness and Lifestyle.
Fitness and lifestyle.
Yep.
And then
they can also contact the studio, and we can direct them to her as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So are all classes are all sessions all at Dance Fusion?
I still do Zoom from my house.
Okay.
And I will be doing some individual ones at my house. Only 3 people allowed, but because I have young kids at home, bringing them into the studio now, it's so I do some here and some at home. And I did outside all summer.
Nice.
But we can't do that anymore.
No. Well, you could wear ski gear, I guess. But,
I think that would be a little bit challenging.
You can call it Mars Buti. You can
there you go. Just
like minus 15 is going to be like minus 15 on Mars is like plus 30 on Earth, right? It's very warm, but for them. But so is there a regular course at a regular time at Dance Fusion?
So right now, every Saturday at 1:30,
okay.
We're just finishing up a 6-week sessional that was pretty much sold out. I'm going to continue running Saturdays at 1:30 until Christmas as a drop-in, and then we will start another 6-week sessional halfway through January. And we're going to open up what's called a Buti Flow class. So it's not quite as intense. There won't be as much jumping. It will be a little easier, more stretching, but still lots of strength. And that will be Tuesdays from 10 to 11 a.m.
Tuesdays 10 to 11. Now, Saturday at 1:30, it's sold out now. There's no drop-in for that?
There's a couple spots. We can have maybe 3 people drop in.
So you're talking about this class size of what, 15?
About maybe 14. The yoga mats take a little more room than the regular squares. So
yeah, and then you're fitting into the squares. And
exactly.
what's the drop-in rate?
Drop-in is $20.
That's fair.
And then for a 6-week sessional, it's $90. So $15 a class.
It's fantastic. That's amazing. That's very, very interesting that you're going this way. It's
you should probably come and try a class one time.
I'm in because I love yoga. I'm walking, right? I do my 10 kilometer. Now that I'm not doing my promotion, I'm only doing 10 kilometers a day, but my body is so silly. I'm actually gaining weight. You know what I mean? So I know, you know what I mean? Like even at 20K, when I was doing 20K, I was gaining weight. It's just my body.
That is a lot of walking.
I know, but I'm in great physical condition now. But
There you go.
I want to add a little bit of resistance, like a sort of a weight training. But I need a higher. I think I need to raise my heart rate even higher. And I
So
don't
why
want.
don't you come on Saturday and try a class?
I'm thinking. Yes, I think.
Just come and try it. Just drop in.
And then
Yeah,
I think
we-
what'll be
much
good
more.
for me too is it'll be easier to me to transition into doing dance classes.
There you go.
Well, and when I stand there, it's I love dancing, but now to be part of a choreography style group, right? I have just a little bit of a self-esteem issue with that. I think, you know what I mean? Like freelance dancing, I can do, right? But now, I ought to follow this pattern. I don't want to be the weak
Maybe I
heel.
should recruit you to be a part of our men's dance.
what I was
haven't
just
started
thinking.
working with it. Every year, I choreograph a dance just for men.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a fun thing. It is definitely not the most technically challenging performance, but everybody has fun.
Yeah.
And so maybe what I'll do is I'll contact you and say, this is when I'm starting. If you want to come, even just to see what we're working on for this year. And you might find it fun. And
and there's all sorts of fun businessmen, in Sherwood Park and Strathcona County that would be we could make a kind of a deal out of it, right?
There you go. Perfect.
That was very, very interesting. Erin Head, Buti Yoga at Dance Fusion. And this week we've had, again, our gracious host, Mary Anne Kuebler. Dance Fusion Show only on the Culture Channel on TVU. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.